Hello, my name is Todd Albright. I'm recently elected to the Chardon Board of Education. Thank you for electing me. And I want to start by saying I don't speak for the board in this presentation. I love our community, and I want to see it built up and not torn down. I ran for office, as many of you know, to stand against issues causing distress and division in the community. Issues like critical race theory, diversity, equity, and inclusion, social and emotional learning, and comprehensive sexual education. I ran for accountability and transparency, and this is a report, an accountability report to you, the citizen. As a representative of Chardon, anytime I encounter an issue that I can take a stand on the values you elected me to, I do. On August 15th, I voted against the Student Athletic Handbook and was supported in that vote by CJ Paternity. Thank you, CJ. None of the other board members considered it worth taking a stand on and all voted yes. So, it's in place. I voted against it because the medical history form has unnecessary questions that I consider intrusive and irrelevant to any sports activities. A form that can readily be altered, and has been, by at least one of our neighboring districts. A form that only requires a doctor's signature to allow participation in our sports, and can be stripped of intrusive questions and made to meet the character of the community. One of the questions implies sexual activity, and seems to condone it by asking students if they're using condoms. By doing this, in my opinion, we aren't stressing or emphasizing abstinence, as Ohio Revised Code 3313.6011 states we must do. We're also probing into areas that parents may not approve of. The other reason was the gender question, which prompts students to declare whether they're male, female, or intersex, and what noun they prefer to go by. The reason I scrutinize this form is because on April 8th, the Ohio High School Sports Athletic Administration, OHSAA, had a summit of concerning content that listed the following topics. Topic 1, the gender unicorn, demystifying the LGBTQIA plus spectrum. Topic 2, implicit bias and its effect on communities and teams. Topic 3, the respectful model, embracing the differences of students. That seems like a decent one. Another topic was the legal landscape of the LGBTQ plus equality in Ohio. Another was the Anti-Racist Alliance, why mascots may inhibit environments for all together, how to create and sustain diversity, equity, and belonging, or inclusion and belonging in the business side of sports, and cultivating information and belonging for LGBTQIA plus youth. These may all be benign, but I don't know. A big day, though, considering that there's allegedly only one transgender athlete in all of Ohio. I've heard 5, but they say 1. So wanting to avoid speculation and see if the content of this summit was a storm in a teacup, I requested a Zoom link to participate. That was never granted. Then I requested the slides from the summit of the recordings of it, and these likewise are unavailable. From the so if it's much ado about nothing, my thoughts for OHSAA are put it out there. Because I believe that elected representatives who sign the approval to participate with organizations should have open access to the happenings of that organization. And as contractors paid with public funds, I believe they're obligated by sunshine laws to do so. Undoubtedly, some will mock me in this as all a waste of time, benign, or possibly prudish. So in the conclusion you draw, I want you to consider what is already occurring in the district around us and in this district. In Mentor, there's a furries club that encourages children to forego communicating in a known language or act according to long-standing norms. In Berkshire, a parent found out that her daughter changed her name. The school refers to her by that name and kept the parent from knowing that for nearly a year. In Hudson, 5th graders are coming home asking what transitioning means. So what about Chardon? Overall, so far as I can tell by data, mathematical proficiency is declining, and insubordination is increasing, while disciplinary measures are decreasing. There appears to be a distinctly dark tone to literature in the school that promotes fixation on dystopic futures and dystopic outcomes, abortion and abortion support for it, suicide, and sexual promiscuity. It's not widespread, but it's there in the curriculum, in the libraries, and mentioned in the classrooms. I know this because I've gone through the curriculum, and a brave and anonymous student provided proof that, for instance, a middle school teacher is promoting, among other things, the importance of CRT, as well as her personal identities and beliefs. Now, I can't find in the curriculum where those topics would be included in her 7th grade class. Further, she encourages students to read books such as Not All Boys Are Blue. Here are some excerpts from that book. It encourages you to use the power to push back against society and even those in your own home. It states that people being allowed to be called by their chosen name and their gender pronouns is the rule, despite that the First Amendment protects your ability to say what you want or not be compelled to say what you don't. And it says, let yourself unlearn everything you thought you knew about yourself and listen to what you need to know. Such a good storyteller. I bet most of you never thought to ever question if you even like your name, or question if that was something you had the power to change if you didn't. I hope you will now. It continues to go on and say that American history is truly the greatest fable ever written. That must make teaching history later on kind of difficult. And in the intro, this book will touch on sexual assault, including molestation, which is incest in this book, loss of virginity, homophobia, racism, and anti-blackness. These discussions at times may be a bit graphic, and let me assure you, they are very graphic. These topics, this teacher says, are novels that she read and recommends, and it's one of 6 books as a presentation to the students. That happened at 8:29 a.m. in the morning. So, at a glance, I'd say every area of compromise that is left unchecked will lead to undesirable outcomes. The American Academy of Pediatrics can't even agree as a body on the transgender issue. So should a teacher or a school in any way promote it or encourage it? I don't think so. And since the outcome of that lifestyle has been proven to lead to depression, drug abuse, alcoholism, and suicide, and the drugs used to transition children, equally bad outcomes, it seems to me to be a topic that should be avoided at all costs. If you have any questions or concerns to address with me, please do not hesitate to call me at 440-954-1363. That's my cell phone number. Because I believe that transparency is the key to good governance, and that's what I'm attempting to do here. Have a good day.